Glad to be welcomed by one of my former teammates, JaMarcus Russell, 2007 Sugar Bowl MVP, first overall pick to the Oakland Raiders. My man, how you doing?
What's going, Hester? I'm doing pretty good. It's kind of funny to hear you, man. You got your own radio show. It's tripping me out here.
I know. Hey, all that tells me is we're getting old, JaMarcus, because
What are you, man?
tomorrow I'll be 35 years old. I'm actually older than you, which is funny because you
You
got
are.
to LSU
You
before
are.
I did.
I'll be at 35 in August 9th. I'll be 35.
It's okay.
We'll
The high
we'll be
school,
young, yeah.
the high school I went to, I was pretty much like 27 when I graduated. So.
Oh, man, cut it out.
Oh, good here. Hey, JaMarcus, one thing that I told you I was going to ask you is how does it feel to be back in Baton Rouge? Because I know for me, I've loved going over to the facility and seeing you again, man, seeing you back around the program, back in Baton Rouge. How has that been for you?
It's fun to hang out, man. Once, while you're playing and stuff, and, for me, I was on the other side of the world in California.
Yeah.
I didn't really get a chance to, come back as much as I wanted to be around, the guys that, were in school, the guys that were coming back, So now, at this point in my life, I was able to, make it down and move here so I can be a part of anything that has to do with the school, whether it's help with the kids in the background, nobody's watching, or just being around to see what they have going on. If they have any questions to ask, any way I can help, that's what I'm here for.
JaMarcus, I know for me, I moved back to Baton Rouge a little over 2 years ago, and it just felt right. It felt like I was where I was supposed to be around the LSU program, to be able to live in Baton Rouge again, because that was the best time of my life, playing for the LSU Tigers, winning a Sugar Bowl, winning a national championship, and just the sense of family that you get being in Baton Rouge.
Man, you said a mouthful then. Like, I feel the same type of way. Like I said, I haven't been, it's been a while, but once I, came to live here, it's like this is what I've been missing out on. Like, I enjoy coming to the games, but I don't like to be in the forefront of things. I like to, get there and go up top and watch it and just be a fan because I never, really seen the game from that level. We always played and we always was a part of the inside the gate as far as playing on the field, and just seeing it from a different perspective is totally different.
When you watch this year's LSU team, what'd you think, JaMarcus?
Woo! Fireball that it couldn't be put out. Like, these guys throwing the ball on first, second, third. Like, they'll throw a ball the entire possession of they have the ball. Like, it doesn't matter. So it was like kind of fun to see it getting tossed around more and to see the guys like catching the ball like you rarely seen drop. So that made it much more spectacular than, just to see that. That was just crazy,
You set some records here at LSU. You and Dwayne Bowe were a lethal combination. Y'all were a lot of fun to watch. The most touchdowns you threw in a season was 28. Joe threw 60. Can you put that into perspective of just how ridiculous that is?
Whew. Well, it's kind of crazy. And I thought about it. Actually, I talked to Dwayne, to Bowe about it. A lot of games that we came out in the fourth quarter, a lot of the games where we didn't really throw the ball more like those guys. They probably throw the ball, 30, 40 times a game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if we throw it 30 times, like 25 was the most, like early in the season, the most I probably threw the ball was the Notre Dame game, I think.
I don't think there's any question. I think when you look at that 2006 season, that Notre Dame game was one like, man, what if we would have maybe done this the entire way? But although in 2006 we did have a somewhat similar offense as far as how it was designed, because we did throw it to three different guys. You had Dwayne Bowe, Buster Davis. You had early Doucette. Hey, JaMarcus, I always mess with Flynn. You threw me the ball 35 times. He never threw me the ball that many times.
I know, that's crazy. Like, even now with Clyde, 22 in the back, so they have a guy that they can put him in space that can make things happen. And you were the same way. It was like, but early on, like it wasn't that way. Like, just those guys were good runners and alley, but they really didn't catch well coming out the backfield, and that's where you took control of. You helped our team out, big time with that because they didn't really expect for you to do that. They were looking for you to block. Wasn't even looking for you to run. But when you was doing that, you was punishing guys, brother.
Well,
I really enjoy watching that. I really do. Like I was watching some of it like not too long ago.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Hey, the best part, JaMarcus, and you know what I'm about to say, is how you would talk to us before you handed us the ball as well, man. I love that. You're, hey, go, get it.
I try to, if it's any kind of way like I can help, I try because in those times, like, you don't expect me to say nothing to you while I'm handing you the ball, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I kind of found that fun, and at the same time, like you say, like, this 10, 12 years later, and you remember it. Like, that's one thing you remember when I hang that ball. Like, we trying to get this first down. I'm in your ear, letting you know we got to get this. Like, all right, make it happen. Or come on now, show me what you got. Like, I tell you all type of stuff. I can't really say over the air. But,
that's right. Yeah, right. I knew what you said. That's all that really matters. Hey, I do want to talk real quick about the 2006 team. I didn't even mean to have this as a subject, but I do think that team was so good, JaMarcus. At the end of the year, I don't think there was any team in the country that wanted to see us. And if we would have had a playoff format back then and we would have gotten in that playoff, I think we win a national title. Hey, remember when we beat Arkansas there in Little Rock the last game of the regular season, they hadn't lost an SEC game at that point. We gave them their first loss. And then we go out and we absolutely torched Notre Dame.
We had an up and down year. Like the game at Florida, we had some bumps. Like people always talk about the snap on the goal line. I never did touch the snap. Like we always had problems with Brett at practice when he had someone over his head and we're going short yards because he's a short guy. I'm so tall that sometimes I have him lift up too high in the back. He has to get down to his block.
Right.
After he snapped me the ball, and sometimes that D tackle like Glenn at practice, he ain't gonna let you do it. So it becomes a stigma in his head about getting my block, but you're always supposed to get the snaps first, and that kind of messed us up. And then the Auburn game, we was running the ball, we were supposed to have been throwing it. They couldn't do anything without a passing attack at the time. Like they're a great SEC defense that we go against yearly and have problems sometimes. So I thought Allie was a little banged up for coach to trying to run him sideline or straight at him. Like that wasn't working. So I thought we should have went to something different.
Yeah, JaMarcus, I want to stay on that Auburn game. That's when I was there, and remember it was a frustrating game offensively. Y'all had trouble getting things going. You said y'all were running it, and you say that you feel like you should have thrown it. Do you remember any discussions that Les had or that Jimbo had with you in that game plan in that day?
Not too tough, man, because like we've been under Jimbo so long, and you always know he's gonna dial something up, to put points on the board. It just become a thing of a head coach and a coordinator being on the same page, and I'm not sure how well it went because you could tell at times where we would still be running the ball, even though, like, what are we running the ball for? We're not trying to tie the score. We're trying to win. And, like, when you playing guys as good as your guys or, some even better than some of the ones you have, like, you really have to game plan and get it going. If the run not working, why keep running against 9 and 8 and 10 people in the box, and then once it's time to pass, they in a passing defense. Like we did that for so many years, run, pass. Even when we played Tennessee, we was up 21-0. We ended up losing to 20 by what 3 points, a field goal, something.
They lost in overtime.
Run, pass. Yeah, we would run, pass after we'd had been doing our game plan, putting points on the board and putting pressure upon their defense. Like it hurt us in a big sense.
JaMarcus Russell joining us here on Hanging with Hester. I want to shift over to Joe Burrow. JaMarcus, the first pick in the draft, going to join the Bengals and all of a sudden beat their guy. You stepped into a locker room being the number one pick in the draft as a rookie. What is that like, being a quarterback and a rookie, being the number one pick, walking into an NFL franchise?
Oh, man. It's like being a freshman walking into college. And then as far as the business part that comes along with it, it can put a target on your back, for one, about coming in and, guys saying about, and coaches about the kids making lump sum of money. early and haven't proven themselves with some problems I ran into myself. But it's crazy. You go into a team that has the worst record in the NFL, and they're expecting for you to make everything better instead of you just being a piece to the puzzle that helps.
Right.
So it becomes nerve wracking. It's a lot of pressure up on your back. It's something that only a few people can explain, and I'm happy to be one of those guys. Even though my career didn't last as long as we all would have wanted it to. I had a blast. I thank God for giving me the opportunity. Thank Him for putting me in the place He put me in, and knowing the people I know, from it. And going back to Joe, I wish him the best. I hope he do better than I've done. Thus far he has. And just to say he's a LSU Tiger, and we both went #1 in the draft. Like, what other school can say that they have that? Like, him and I, we can talk trash to Mike Vick. We can talk trash to Cam Newton. We can talk trash to whoever. Like, LSU Tigers, we have 2 #1 draft picks and within 10 to 12 years of each other. Like, that's great.
JaMarcus, you did a fantastic job narrating the video that LSU football put out when Joe was the #1 overall selection. That was a lot of fun to watch. How was that for you putting that together? And have you had any conversations with Joe kind of leading up to this process?
I haven't had a chance to talk to him. I talked to him the night the championship game, and here before while they was practicing and stuff, going to some of the practice to talk to him. And it was it's like I've been knowing him for a while. And it was my first time meeting him, so that speaks a lot about him, and that he's able to interact with anyone, no matter what. He's a easygoing person, and I did get a chance to tell him congratulations and everything that's coming upon him. Just keep his head to the stars. Everything's not going to be great when you get there. Just work, man, and work your tail off, and good things happen for you.
All right, JaMarcus, I want to ask you about LSU's quarterback future. Myles Brennan waited his turn. He didn't transfer. As you and I have talked about this day and age of college football, when a guy's not playing right away, especially at y'all's position, he goes and he puts himself in the portal. Myles Brennan stayed. He did not transfer. What are you expecting from Myles Brennan? What have you had a chance to see him do in the couple spring practices that we got?
I really didn't. I saw him, I think the first or the second day. I really didn't get a chance to see as much. I heard a lot about him. I know he can play the position, but we have a lot of hungry guys behind him. Like, I'm not saying that he's not gonna get the job, but he's the front runner. The guy that's for it. But this is a world and a game that's played where the best man step up.
Right.
If we go in 2 or 3 games, he's not getting it done. Is it safe to say let's get the other guys a try, or how far do we go with this guy? Like, do we go the whole season with him? Like, what are we trying to accomplish? Like, what's our goal with him? Like, or are we treating this like he just coming in, or how are we treating this? We can't expect him to be a Joe Burrow. Like, we can't expect that. We just want him to manage the game. We don't want him to go out and try to be Superman when it's not really a Superman needed. It just, we need a Batman. We don't need a Superman. We need a team full of Batman. I mean, team, what is Robin? Team full of Robin. I'm sorry. Team full of Robin.
Hey, but that competition
that can, get together.
Yeah, and that competition that you're talking about, he does have some young guys, behind him on the depth chart, but you're used to that. Your time at LSU, I mean, I remember when I first got here in 2004, you, Imran, and Flynn had competition. It seemed like every single day to see who was going to get those snaps. You and Matt had great competition to see who was going to be the starter as well.
Matt and I had a great career, and we're great friends, I can say. And we spent a lot of time together, like, as far as on the road. We were roommates. So we got a chance to spend a lot of time together. And I'm going to tell you a story that nobody in the world knows but Matt and I, and I'm about to break it to you guys. So
can't wait. Let's go.
Yeah, man, like I say, we're great friends, and we came in together, so we're teammates. Like, we're brothers. Like, we grew together. Like, it doesn't matter who's on the field. I'm cheering for you. He cheering for me. Like, we want our school and the team to do good. Like, that's what I thought it would be like in Oakland, but everyone's for themselves. Like, they trying to feed their families, and so it's a lot different. But with Matt and I going into the last game, I didn't have a thought or anything of knowing I was going pro. It happened on a phone call, and someone told me that it can be possible that I can be one of the first or second quarterbacks taken. So I'm asking, like, what does that mean? I don't know. Like, I'm naive to it. I'm not really into that right now. So I talked to my family, and we found out that it was true. So further along after the Notre Dame game, this is when I really found out that I was leaving. Called Matt and told him I think he was going to transfer if I would have stayed, because he really would have, had a chance to play. Like, he wanted to start and play. So I told him I loved him like a brother, and man, it make me feel good that I can leave him the opportunity to, go out and finish out his dream to come to LSU and participate as a quarterback. And he did that and went out and won a national championship in 2007.
Matt's story, and like you said, like the fact that y'all competed all the time, and Matt stayed as well, and y'all were able to both live out y'all's dreams playing LSU quarterback. You end with a Sugar Bowl, he ends with a national title. I think that was a perfect way to end things. Man, JaMarcus, I can't tell you what it means that you gave us a couple minutes here. I appreciate it. Hope all is well.
We can do this all day, man.
Let's go.
It's fun knowing that I'm talking to my buddy, someone I cried with, I shed blood and pain with. Like, man, it's good to see you doing great for yourself, and as well as the rest of our brothers that's out there.
That's right, man. I appreciate it, man. I know it's Mother's Day weekend. You got to get home to see Mama, so I appreciate you giving us some time here, brother.
No, that's right. Tell your mom hello and tell her we miss her. Happy Mother's Day.
Absolutely. There he is, JaMarcus Russell. Can't thank you enough, man. We'll talk to you soon.
You too, brother.